Hey guys, and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm so happy to have you guys back on and watching. Thank you so much for everybody who is liking, who is sharing, who's commenting. I really appreciate your comments, guys. It means so much to me that you're doing that. So today I wanted to talk about something that happened. I was looking at my face in the mirror, right? And I was like, my skin is so dry and my face is peeling. I'm one of those people that winter is just not kind to, right? My skin peels, I get all dry and ashy, and it's just winter's just not my season. I hate the cold and all of the above. And as I was busy complaining, I just, got a word from the Lord about seasons. So I want to make this episode of this video about changing seasons. So it's interesting how the ecology of life works, right? When God created heaven and earth, He created time before He created man, right? He created time. He says that the Bible says that He created the sun, He created the moon, and obviously that by virtue of those two very powerful systems, if I may call them like that, they governed time. So the day, obviously the sun governed the day because it was a greater light, and the moon governed the nighttime. So they kind of split time in two, right? And then it started to flow. Then He created, the plants and everything else. But the ecology and the ecosystem of the world revolved around time. So He creates man on the sixth day, but He creates him in the process of time, in the duration of time, which means that whether man likes it or not, he is subject to time. God is above time because He created time. He stands above any timeline, any time frame that we have on the earth, but He created us in time. So seasons are part of the timing of the world. It is part of the time of the natural ecosystem. It is part of the time that things grow and develop, things die and live, In Genesis 12, the Bible talks about as long as the earth remains, seed time and harvest time will be. Winter and summer will be, which means that there's no winter without summer. There's no harvest time without the seed time. There's always, these two balance out each other, and they work in perfect harmony when we're able to embrace them, right? So the thing about seasons is that not every season is a pleasant one. Not every season is your season. Not every season is going to bring out the best in you. Not every season is going to bring out the best in your marriage. Not every season is going to bring out the best in your business, but every season is necessary. And every season has a purpose. And every season comes bearing a gift for you. It is either a gift to accelerate you, or it is a gift to give you a lesson that will strengthen you, and you'll come out emerged an even stronger and an even better person, right? So when we think about it, when we think about the four seasons, summer, okay, I hope I say it in order. Winter, it's autumn, winter, spring, and summer, right? Those are the seasons. I want to start with autumn. So autumn is an interesting season because it is the shift in a season, if you really think about it, because you're coming from a summer, you're coming from a hot time, a harvest time, you're coming from a season of, relaxation and enjoying the fruits of your harvest. You're coming from a very 2019, and you're going into a 2020 type of a vibe. And autumn is that season where leaves are falling, trees are shedding, things are starting to become starting to look like they're dying. They're not really dead yet, but they're kind of getting cold. It's getting more chilly, and that's the autumn season. And then comes winter. God, now everything is dying. If you look in the ecosystem of nature, right? In winter, the trees are all naked, the grass is brown, it's cold, it's bitter, nobody wants to be outside. It's not the kind of season that you want to give birth anything into. It's not the season that is ideal for, enjoying. It's a season where everything is dry, and there's no rain in winter also. In South Africa, the country that we live in, there's no rain in winter. It's just dry and it's just cold and it's just not so great. But then comes spring. Spring comes as a hope of new life. It comes as a hope that there's something greater coming. You start to see the trees starting to bud, and you start to see life coming and emerging in small instances. And then comes summer, ooh, and everyone is happy again, because now summer it introduces the fullness of life. It comes to introduce the full circle of the 4 seasons. And I want to bring this home to us, right? And I want to bring it home. We're in different places in our lives, maybe in marriage, business, relationship, children, whatever. We're all in different places in our lives, so you can slot yourself in where you belong. The winter seasons that we have in our lives are seasons where things are dry, things are cold, things are sad. And the worst thing you can do is to compare your winter to someone else's summer. The worst thing you can do for your marriage and your relationship is to compare your season of winter to someone's season of spring or summer, because you will miss the lessons that you're supposed to learn. When you're in school and you're studying and you're going through exams and it's tough and it's heavy, you're in an autumn going to winter kind of a season, because you are in a season where you need to be hibernating, you need to be staying indoors, you need to be working on your craft, because you're going to come out in spring and summer and you're going to flourish when you're done, when you get your results. The worst thing you can do in that time is spend your time looking at people in summer and spring, because you're going to miss it. So many of our young people, I do talks at high schools and I speak to young kids and ask them, what do you want to be when you grow up? Then these are grade 11s and 12s, and they talk about, I want to be a celebrity, I want to be this, I want to be that. And the idea of success is what is portrayed in the media. I understand that media shows you summer and spring. It doesn't show you autumn, it doesn't show you winter. You understand what I'm saying? Whatever you see on social media, you're seeing highlight reels of people's summers, and you're not aware that they could be in an autumn in their truth, but they are showing you a summer or a spring. Guys, don't get derailed. Trust your season. Embrace your season, because every single season that you go through is meant to make you better. The Bible makes a beautiful analogy of ants. It says, consider the ants you sluggard. In summer, the ants are busy. They're working left, right, and center. They're collecting all of the food, all of their harvest. They're storing it, because they understand that autumn and winter is coming, where their bodies literally don't allow them to be outside, but they will have enough food. So what we do as people is we waste our winters and our autumn times, seasons for growing, seasons for developing, and we waste them, anxious about summer. So I had a choice this morning. I could have continued to complain about my skin. Oh my gosh, my skin is cracking and whatever. Or I could have realized that my skin is peeling, yes, but it's actually giving itself a natural process of replenishing itself and, taking all of the dead skin out so new skin can emerge. And when I realized, I was like, girl, moisturize your face, drink some water, you'll be fine. And embrace the season where you're replenishing yourself. So we're in a physical winter, outside it is cold, and I don't want you guys to miss this season. I don't want you to stay at home on quarantine complaining about how cold it is and how you can't do this and you can't do that. And you wanted to start a business, but you don't have the resources. You wanted to study, but you don't have the funds. You wanted to be a mother by now, but you don't have this, you don't have that. You can spend all your life complaining about what you don't have. But when you take the season for what it is, you will reign and rule in that season, because you'll get to glean what God has for you in that season. Trust me, no matter how anointed you are, you're going to go through winter. No matter how rich you are, you're going to go through autumn. And no matter how prayerful you are, you're still going to experience the spring and the summer. It's the process of life. And you can't want to dodge and dive and kick and scream. Embrace it. Embrace your spring right now. If you're seeing new life develop, if you're seeing a new love formed between you and your partner, if you're seeing your kids learning and developing new things, embrace that. Find joy in it. If you're in summer right now and you're just starting a new business and things are going great, things are going great in your family, things are going great in your career, embrace it. Treasure those times and write down the lessons that you're learning, because you will need that encouragement of good times when you're going through the bad times. And the other thing, when you're going through your winter and your autumn seasons, the not so pleasant seasons, remember not to give up. Remember not to throw in the towel, because there was a time when we were in summer. Sometimes we want to quit relationships and marriages and business deals who want to get out of certain contracts in winter because it's no longer serving you. You know, got this thing on social media. If it doesn't serve you, leave it. I hear that, and it's granted. You don't be in a place where you're no longer being served, but also understand which season you're in, because it's possible that the season that you're in, that thing, that place, that job, that relationship is not supposed to be serving you in that season, because you're supposed to serve the season. There are times when the season serves you, there are times when you serve the season, and you need to be aware which time and which season you're in. Don't just be derailed by quotes and memes and all these other things, but appreciate who you are, because who you are and where you are will determine your next move and, you know, your next step. And I just want to say this before we wrap up this episode about changing seasons, is that, guys, understand that change is inevitable. There's nothing constant in our lives. There's nothing promised to be the same. But in all the changes that we go through in our lives, in our bodies, in our careers, you know, as women, the different stages we see and the progressions in our lives, in our relationships, in our marriages, in our children, and everything else like that, there's only one constant, unchanging truth. That is the truth about God, and He's an unchanging changer. He's consistent and He is faithful to take you through any season, any change that you're going through. He's able to teach you the lessons that you need to take from each and every single season and make you a better person. Because God's will is that you prosper. God's will is not that you be destroyed, that you be derailed, that you be delayed. You know, no season is there to delay you, but each and every single season is there to bring out a better version of you. Even the winter in its coldest and its bitterest nights, right, is there to put within you an ability to fight like you don't know. You know, it is there to put within you a resilience to withhold and to hold on like you'll never know in summer. So hold on, guys. Whatever season that you're in, comment and tell us about your season. Tell us what you're going through and what you're learning in your season. If it's a season of singlehood, it's a season of, you know, courtship or marriage, or if it's a season of, you know, loneliness. Some events in our lives, they deep dive us, they push us into seasons, like a divorce, like a death of a parent, a death of a loved one. They can push us into certain seasons, but you're not your season. Okay, you are not what you're going through. You are not the season you're in. You're merely passing through it, and in the passage of time and in the continuation of time, you will look back and you'll see what the season taught you. So let's not complain. Let's trust God, and let's know that we are passing through. We're getting through it. Please like, please comment, please subscribe, and please share the video with your friends and your families. I love you guys. Have a good week.